Welcome back to computer science. So today I had a lab recitation. We built a little program. That's actually probably the biggest program I've built with actual like typing code in one sitting. Yeah, why not? It was like 50 something lines. Basically, it was like it gave a user a list of options: add, subtract, multiply, divide, floor divide, um, power, square root, and then I did three other ones: floor, ceiling, and absolute value. It basically said, what do you want to do? You type in the string. You're like, I want to add. You just type in add, enter. Then it says, what is the first number? What is the second number? Enter first number, enter second number, adds them together. It says the same for subtraction. Basically, we're practicing if branches. I learned a new term. It's clause. So when you're writing out the if statement, really, like the if blank condition, that's the clause, I think. I think it's the clause. I don't know if the if with the condition is the clause. That was probably the clause, right? And then the branch is the statements that, or the it's like the sequence of steps that are taken if that condition is met. So pretty cool stuff. We looked at leet code. So for a long time I wanted to do like leet code. I knew it was like a really good way to practice problem solving. But for the time being, I'm just going to continue doing coursework before I get into that, because we're still very basic stuff. But I'm going to jump back into the textbook today and continue making progress. We've been doing little projects here and there for the past couple days, but we're going to jump back in and actually start on lecture 8. So we'll be back to recall in a bit. All right, guys, that was pretty ridiculously easy. This might be the easiest lesson of this course so far. Lecture 8 is about detecting ranges of numbers using branches. So really if, elif, if, elif, and else branches. We can detect ranges. Typically, you won't have to, like when you're detecting a range in math, you say 0, or x is less than 0, greater than, or x is greater than 0, less than 20. That is right. That says it's between 0 point, or what it says it's between 0 and 20 exclusive. We don't have to say both sides in computer science with these structures, because typically one end is implied by the previous statements. Anything else? Oh, we learned about relational operators, right? Relational operators, these compare the relation of two operons and output a Boolean value. And the 4 relational operators we learned about are less than, or equal to, greater than, or equal to. So it's raining out now. Yeah, that's it for right now. We'll be back later today to do another session of computer science. So talk to you then. What's up? I'm back for computer science. Earlier, we just started learning about basically detecting ranges using if, elif, and else structures, so branches. Pretty simple stuff. I'm gonna jump back into that right now. What I actually might do is just go and do a project first from an earlier lecture, because that will be due next Thursday, so I might as well start. There's probably like 8 of them, so I might as well just do one now and relieve that. The other stuff we were learning, we're almost done with, and that's due Sunday, so we've got it multiple days in advance we're ahead. So I'm gonna go start with the project, and then anytime left I'll go back to doing the branches, detecting ranges lecture. So be back in a bit. All right, we're about 80% or 90% of the way done with lecture 8 on these detecting ranges with branches. We learned about operator chaining, which is Python supports multiple operators within a statement. So you can basically say, like I was saying earlier, you can say 7 or x is greater than 7 but less than 10. All you can see that chaining operators. And what it does is it checks the first relation. If that's true, it goes to the next relation, checks that. If that's true, then its output's true. If either one is false, it automatically stops on the first false and outputs false. So that's everything for right now. I finished up one of those projects as well. That was just doing, again, basic output stuff. We did use the CHR built-in function in Python that converts an integer into a character from a decimal encoding. So that's it for today. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you.